Ratesetter. Thank you for attending the AI Summit today. I wonder if you could just tell us a little bit about Ratesetter's business model.
Yeah, so we're a peer-to-peer lender focused on consumer loans. So it's retail to retail exclusively at the moment. And the innovation that Ratesetter has brought is that it introduced something called the provision fund, paid for by the borrowers, there to recompense lenders in the event of problems, such that actually no lender on Ratesetter has ever lost a penny. So that is our unique claim, that we've made peer-to-peer lending very simple and very safe.
And for advisors who are interested, that sounds like it's going to be a real sweet spot for advisors in their thinking about crowdfunding and getting involved in crowdfunding. Are you making efforts to attract advisors?
Yes, we are. I mean, our view on this is that crowdfunding, peer-to-peer lending there's going to be a huge spectrum of offerings, and we want to position Ratesetter as the sort of simple and safe one. If we're accused of being boring, sometimes that's absolutely fine. We're just trying to give a small premium to savers than they can get in the banking system. And yes, we're actively engaging with advisors ahead of. I mean, we don't believe that there'll be huge uptake from advisors until we're regulated, which is happening in April next year. But in advance of that, we are working with a few actually to build a sort of an easy process for them.
And just picking up on that idea of regulation, do you have any thoughts on CP 1313, the proposed regulations that came out last month?
I think the FCA are being very practical and very sensible about it. They have just recognised that peer-to-peer lending is at the lower risk spectrum than perhaps the equity crowdfunding side of things, which is just the nature of debt versus equity. So I think they've been quite sensible in that regard. And also they're just being quite practical in saying not overly burdensome, picking up on a lot of the principles that are already being adopted by the Peer-to-Peer Finance Association, and a very healthy emphasis on just making sure the operator, i.e. the platform itself, is sound, robust, and that its communications with its customers are fair, clear, and not misleading. All of which we all thoroughly approve of. So I think they are taking, and they're not being overly prescriptive at this stage, which I think in an area where there's so much innovation makes a lot of sense.
And finally, just for advisors who are interested, what would be your key messages to them? How can they get involved, and how can they manage risk, and how can they explain this sort of thing to their clients?
So at Ratesetter, we take the view that actually we're best placed to manage the risk, to be honest, in the sense that with the Ratesetter Provision Fund, we've taken the view that we will assess the credit risk, we will determine whether people can be approved or not, and to try and to deliver to the saver a riskless product. So if that appeals to their customers or their clients, then by all means get in touch with Ratesetter. We are actively engaging with some IFAs at the moment, and we'd be happy to talk about where Ratesetter fits in the wider spectrum of peer-to-peer lending and crowdfunding.
Rhydian, that's excellent. Thank you very much for your thoughts, and do enjoy the rest of the afternoon.